G'day and welcome to APS 101 Playback for the animated prim system, brought to you by zED. What I'll be going over in this video is the playback menu and how to use its functions to edit or play back the recorded frames before dumping the final scripts. This is very handy as it allows you to make sure that you've got everything right before you continue to dumping the frame scripts. So to show you this, I've already got a pre-animated box bot that I've done up here that is made up of cubes using the slice parameter, and the reason why I use the slice parameter you will soon see. Just to clarify where the slice actually is, if I go into the object tab here, you'll see you've got slice. Not all prim types have the slice option, boxes in particular do here, so you've got slice. Now the reason why I've done it that way is because the scripts cannot actually set or record the slice parameter. Now this is a second life limit. Unfortunately, we cannot do that with scripts just yet. I'm hoping so in the future. Okay, now if I go into the content tab here, you'll see I've got the playback APS script in here. You need the playback script in with the main, and what this does is it plugs the playback menu into the APS recording menu. So if I touch my box bot here you go, you'll see I've got the playback button here. Now generally you'll want to include the playback with whatever you do. Now if you've started recording and you forgot to put the playback script in there, don't stress, you can add it in. Okay, once you remember, you can place it in at any time. You just edit your object and you drag it into your root prim with the main script, and you can continue on. So I've already got a few frames recorded here, so I'm going to go into my playback menu and go over a few of these buttons. You've got lots of that you can do: add, remove frames, replace frames, playback, scroll through them. But before I scroll through the frames, as I mentioned, I did the slice parameter on these boxes. Since scripts can't set this, if I was to go to my next frame and look at another frame, the slice would reset and there would be no slice anymore. The box bot would look pretty weird, and you'll see that at the end of the end of this video, where I'll show you with the type on. So what we can do is, for this reason, I've added a type button where you can turn prim type on and off. So I'm going to turn it off for now, so it doesn't try to set the prim type, which means the slice won't be reset. So now I can easily go through my frames. So I'm just going to go to next here, and then see I've got frame 0 where he's all drooped down, and I can scroll through my frames next, or if I wanted to go previous, and it goes through all the frames that I've already recorded. If you've got quite a number of frames, you can go to a particular frame if you like by clicking go to. You'll get a little text box dialog that you can click in and just type the frame you want to go to. So I want to go to the last frame, which is frame 2. And I can submit that and it will go to that frame automatically. Alright, so now what if I want to add another frame? Let's get him to start drooping back down again rather than scrolling back to the 0 frame like so. I want to add the next frame along. So say I want this frame here, frame 1, I also want as frame 3. There are a couple of ways I can do this. So I'm on my current frame as 1 and I want to add it as frame 3 as well. So what I can do is I can say add at. And when I go add at, it gives me a little text box dialog again, and I can type where I want it to add to. So say if I want it to add to the end, I had 2 frames, I can go to 3 and submit, and you'll see that's now added. And if I go back through, you'll see that 1, 2 and then 3 back to it. Alright, now there's another way that we can add it at the end. You can also add them earlier on. So whatever frame you choose, if you add it at another frame, say if I added it at frame 2, okay, it would be then added as frame 2, and the old frame 2 would then have become frame 3. Okay, what if I want frame 0 as frame 4 now? Okay, the other way we could do it by adding it at the end is I've gone to the frame and I can go back to the main menu here, and it currently puts me on current frame 4 ready. That's the one I'm working with, and I can just hit record and that's added to the end. So if I go back into my playback menu, you'll see now that if I go to got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's because it's added it at the end. Okay, what if I want to make a change? Okay, I want to replace a particular frame because, okay, I recorded it, I made a mistake, or I've played through them and I've decided, I want to make a change to this frame to make it look a little better. So let's go to, I'm just going to go to the frame 3 here, and I'm just going to make a quick change to him. So I'm going to go here and let's put his head up. I'm just going to rotate his head to be looking straight ahead here. Alright, and I want to replace it now. So if I just hit replace, it's now replaced this frame. So you'll see that if I go back and then I go here, the new frame has changed. Okay, so now what if I want to replace the other frame like that as well with the same one? Okay, I can then go, let's go to this frame and I want to replace at. So the frame I'm wanting to replace is frame 1, so on frame 3, if I want to replace at, it'll give me a text box dialog that I can click in and type frame 1. If I submit, it's now replaced frame 1 with this one as well. So if I go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see that it's been replaced now. Alright, same with replace that, add. Now if you add a frame in, say I want to change it back, put his head down, but I don't want to replace this frame at all. I just want to put his head down for frame 3. I want to add this frame in so that it does this frame and then goes to what it was. So if I add, this will add it as frame 3. Now the old frame 3 has now become frame 4. The old frame 4 has become frame 5, and you'll see as I go through, like so. That's how we do that. Okay, so now what if I want to remove frames? Again, very easy to do. Say I want to remove this frame because I'm just going to have a loop back to 0 anyway, which is this same frame, so I don't need to have it twice. I'm just going to remove this, hit remove, and it's removed the frame. Now if I remove, say I want to remove a frame before the last frame. Okay, I'm on frame 3, I want to remove this one, and I can remove this frame as well. Now the old frame 4 has now become frame 3, and frame 4 it no longer exists because they've all moved down one. Just like when adding in, they all move up one. Now we can play or loop the animation as well, play it whole back through rather than scrolling through one by one. So I'm just going to go loop here and give me another menu. It gives me a couple of speed options to choose from. So let's just say I want to do medium speed, which is a 0.5 second frame delay. When you're dumping the scripts, finalizing the process to do your trigger scripts later on, you can choose a faster or slower one. This is just for the playback. So let's go medium, and it will play through and it will keep looping through all the frames that I've done. Okay, and to stop that with the loop, I just touch it and it will stop where you've last touched it. Now the play will play through once. So let's just say if I want to do, let's just choose fast, it'll go back to 0 first and then it will go through them. And there you go, that's the playback menu. Before I continue on, I'm just going to show you here why we turn the type off with slice. Now if you didn't use slice parameters, you can leave type on. Obviously if you're changing different prim types, you'll want type on. If you're going to be using a slice parameter, you don't want to be changing prim type because you can't use the type. So try work around that if you do that. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, it's a second life limit, so there's not much I can do about it right now. As soon as they allow us to record and set type, I'll be sure to add slice. I'll be sure to add it, of course. So if I turn type on now, you'll see what happens as soon as I turn it on. Boom. All his slice parameters are reset and he's become one big mess. And that's no good, and that's why I've included the type button to turn it on and off. Not that you'll probably be animating too much with slice anyway, so you could probably leave it on for the most part, but the option's there if it's needed, just in case. And that is the playback menu. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.